So control statements. Okay, so control statements, from the name itself, you can define what is this control statements is all about. Control statements is it's like control flow of the program. Seeing three different types of control statements. Okay, one is actually the sequential. Okay, sequential control statements. Okay, so that only we are seeing, right? Sequential control statement means the one after another, line by line execution. Okay, that is taking place. That is the sequential control flow, right? The second type is decision. Okay, so decision control structure. Okay, so decision control structure, and third one is iterative, right? So iterative control structure. Okay, so these are the three different types of control statements. Okay, one is a sequential control structure, and third one is decision control. Okay, and then iterative control. Okay, sequential means it's a normal thing only. Okay, for example, if you are giving a equal to 4, and then some b equal to 10, and then if you are giving c equal to a plus b, okay, and then we are going to give print the value of c, okay. So this is like a normal flow, right? So when we are giving like this particular constant 4 which is assigned to a, right, and then this particular integer value 10 which is assigned to b, right, and then we are giving some assignment operation, okay, so that is a plus b, okay. So that means 4 and 10 will be added, and then again it will be stored it into another variable c, and then we are going to print the value of c. So automatically the 14 will be printed. Got my point, right? So this is like a sequential flow of control, right? The program which is executing one after another. When you give a equal to 4, the editor knows I have to put integer value 4 into a variable a, right, and then the integer 10 that have to be put it into the variable b, and then I have to do some addition operation of a and b, right. In a we have 4, and in the bth location I have 10, and then this have to be added, so 14. So that have to be put it into the allocation of a c variable, right, and then I have to print the value what it is present in the C. This is what the editor will understand. Okay, so line by line execution that is taking place. Okay, so this is the first category. Till now we have seen some of the example in the programming code, that is a sequential control statement, right? The next category, that is decision control. Okay, what is this decision control? So in decision control, we have different types. Okay, so one is the first type is we can say it's a simple if. Okay, so simple if statement, and then we can see if else. Okay, if else, and then C category, that is nested if. Okay, and then B category is if, elif, and then else. Got it? So this is how we are going to have here. The control structure will be different based upon the condition. Got my point? Okay, so already I have given some examples with the if, else, and all. Okay, but we are going to see which is coming under control structures. Got it? Okay, so the first is like a simple if. Okay, so here there is no else part. Okay, so if means some conditions we are going to give. You know about it, right? In the relational operator, it is going to return the Boolean type value, right? So if, for example, if you are giving 5 greater than 3, okay, so it is going to return either true or false. Okay, it is not going to give any value like a plus b, and we are going to give the additional value of a and b. 5 plus 3 means it will give you some addition value of 5 plus 3, and it will give return integer value 8. But for relational operators, okay, for giving some conditions, that is the time you know it is not going to return any particular integer, but it is going to return a Boolean type. Okay, so it is going to return some Boolean type. Okay, so now I will write you, I will write some syntax. Okay, for simple if. Okay, so for example, here if means okay, so whenever we are going for if, okay, we are using the keyword. Okay, we are going to use the keyword. Okay, so that is the if part. Okay, and then we have to give inside the bracket, you have to give condition. Okay, so condition, or otherwise you will tell it as like a test expression. Okay, that is another name. Okay, so either if or we will call it as like a text expression. Okay, so that is how we are going to give, and then the important thing is we are going to give colon here. Got my point? Okay, so in C we will use the curly braces to show the block of statements. Okay, but in Python, okay, we are using indentation. That is very important, right? Okay, so that concept is very important. Indentation means it will give after four spaces. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so after four spaces, okay, so it is going to print. So which are all the block of statements? Okay, so if this condition satisfied, then the block of statements will be printed. Okay, for example, if it is a statement 1 and then coming here statement 2, right? Okay, so and then it will come to statement 3, right? So if there is a 3 statement which is available, these are all called the block of statements. If these block of statements have to be printed, okay, so for that this condition have to be satisfied. If this condition, okay, if this condition is not satisfied, then it will come out from this particular block of statement. Got my point? This block of statements will not be printed. So this is the syntax for simple if. Got it? Okay. So you will have true block and false block. Got my point? So true block means this block will be printed. Okay. For example, if I if it is this condition is false, okay, then automatically it will come out of the statements. Okay, if you are giving some some other statement, okay, statement X, okay, so this statement will be printed. Okay, this condition false, automatically it will come here. Got it? Okay, so that is how it will be framed. Okay, the syntax for if statement will be printed. Okay, so when you're okay, so automatically the cursor will be here only. When you give backspace, okay, automatically it will come to this position. That means what? So these are all intended. So these are all the block of statements which is coming under this particular statement. When we give backspace, it will come to the starting position of this particular line. Okay, so that means what? It is coming out of this particular block of statements. Okay, so for this if, okay, the condition fails, the false parts, okay, this statement will be printed. Got my point? Okay, so this is an example for simple if. Okay, so we will check in Colab. Okay, so that easily you will understand. Okay, so I will go to Colab now. Here also I will little paste, okay, bigger, right? So here I will do a very simple program like checking the number whether it is 0 or non-zero. Okay, so I will give it as check integer value as 0 or non-zero. Okay, so this is the comment. Whenever I am giving with the hash, that is comment. Okay, so practice in that way, it will be fine. Or otherwise, you can use text and you can add. Okay, you can add as a text. Okay, so that also we can do in Colab. Okay, but this one looks good, right? Okay. So how you can give for this? Okay, so now we have to give for simple if. Okay, so first I can just give the example like this. Okay, so if I am getting an input, that will be fine, I feel. Okay, so I'm getting some a equal to, right? So I am going to give input of, okay, input of enter the value of a. Okay, so I am getting an integer value. For that, this statement is okay. Anything I have to add to get an input during the runtime? Anything I want? Yeah, very good. I have to give a type conversion. Got it? So I have to give int because in input always it will get a string value. Got my point? Okay. So I have to convert it into an integer. Okay. So I told you already in the previous classes itself. Okay. So this one you have to remember. Okay. For input statement, every time you have to give the type conversion. What kind of input you are going to get. Okay. And the next is I'm going to find out whether the given value a, which is equals 0 or not. Okay, so for that I have to put if condition. Okay, so what is the syntax? If, and then I have to give condition, right? So I have to give a whether which is equal to 0 or not. Okay, so this is equality, right? Equality thing. Okay, this is not assigning. Okay, so assigning means one equal it will come. Okay, but we are checking out equality, whether it is equal to 0 or not. Okay, so it becomes condition. Okay, so a equal to 0. So it will not end. I have to give colon because the block of statement I have to do, right? So I have to check whether it is 0 or not. If it is 0 means I can say print, I can say it is a 0. Okay, so I can say it is 0, right? Okay, so if it is, if this condition fails, okay, then I can give like print, it is a non-zero. Is it okay? Okay, so we will just check the thing. Okay, so I'm getting the input value. So it is an integer value. So I'm giving type conversion as int here. And then I'm for syntax for if. Okay, so that is simple if, in which I'm giving the condition. Okay, if this condition satisfied, then according to the indentation, this one will be printed. Okay, if this condition fails, automatically it will come out from it. Okay, so I have to give backspace and I have to start from this particular intent. Okay, so just I will run the program. We will check the output. First time it's running, so it takes little time. Enter the value of a. I'm giving 4. It's a non-zero, right? Okay, so again I'm running the program. Enter the value of a. I'm giving 0. It is a 0. Okay, and then it is print non-zero. Why it is coming? After finishing it, it is coming out. Okay, so in order to avoid that only, we are going for else part. Got my point? Okay, so simple if I can do if I'm not having the statement. Okay, see for example, if I'm going for this, okay, if it is not equal, it is coming out. Got my point? Okay, so for example, if it is 7, it is automatically it is coming out, it is giving non-zero. Got it? Okay, this block of statement is printing, but it is not considering as else part. Okay, so that's why we are going for if else. Okay, so how we can solve this particular thing? Okay, the same thing I can just give it as. Okay, so first I will tell you about the syntax of if else. Okay, so how these problems can be solved? Okay, so if one condition, okay, satisfied, okay, if that condition is not satisfied, it skips the block of statement and it is coming out. Okay, if this condition is not satisfied, it skipped these statements and it is coming out and it is printing. So we will think in our mind that, okay, so if this condition fails, this is working good. Okay, but if this condition is true, then this statement will, okay, will be printed, and then it will automatically come into the sequence, right? The next statement also will not be skipped. Got my point? Okay, so for that only we are going for if else statement. Okay, so this is the drawback we are facing in simple if. Okay, when we are going to check the condition. Okay, so now if we are going for if else, okay, how to solve this condition? If you are giving here if and then condition, okay, and then I'm going to give statement 1 and then statement 2, okay, right? And then likewise you will have n number of statement. Okay, so this is called a true block. Okay, if this condition satisfied, okay, then this statement will be printed. Okay, so we can say this is the true block. If I can say else, and then I'm going for set of statements st1 and then st2. Got it? Okay, so I can say this is the false parts. Okay, and then I can say statement X or something else. Okay, so after doing this condition, and then the set of statements will be printed. Okay, so let us check this particular thing in the code. Okay, and whether we can solve this issue or not, we will check. Okay, see, we can do for this itself. Okay, as I told you, first if a equal to 0, then print 0, and then I have told else parts. Okay, else I'm saying that it is print of non-zero. Got it? So first I want to enter the value of a, that is 4, which is non-zero, and 1, it is non-zero. It is 0. Got my point? This one is not printing now because I have given else. Got it? Okay. So that is the advantage of using this. Okay. In the previous thing, okay. So this one is happened, and also the next set of statement also is printed. Okay. So we cannot put two condition false parts. Okay. In simple if. Okay. But here we can solve the issue, right? Have you understood the difference between the first and the second category, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pa. Thank you for the response. Okay, so everyone please type parallelly and find out. Then only you will see the difference. In the exam time, you will get four options will be given. Okay, so likewise, okay, and ask you to do. Any question? Any question you can ask. Okay, all right. Or otherwise, I will give you another small example. Right? Okay, we can just find out the given integer value. Okay, whether it is a positive or negative. Okay, we can just check it out. Okay, for example, okay, if else checking number as positive or negative. Okay. Okay. So here also I am getting an value here. So n int, because type conversion I have to do input of enter n value. I'm getting an value input as n, and then I'm giving the condition that if n which is greater than 0 or not. Got it? Okay. So if it is greater than 0 means I can just write print it is a positive. Okay. Else print, very simple. Only thing is you should be very clear with the control flow, okay, in the program. That is very important. Okay, so this is the true part, and this is the false block. Okay, this is the true block, and this is called the false block. Okay, if this condition true, then this statement is going to print. If this condition fails, then it is going to print this. Okay, so if n is greater than 0, okay, then it is saying it is positive, and then again it is negative. Okay, so just we will run the program. If you are saying that -8, so it is a negative one. Got it? 7, it's a positive one. Got my point? Okay, so this is how we are doing if else. Okay, now I hope you understood the difference between simple if and then if else. Okay, so coming to the third category, that is nested if. Okay, so we can go for the third category, that is nested if. Okay, so how you can give nested if, right? If I go there, it will be fine, I think so. It will be formatted good, that's it. Okay. Okay. So nested if. So here I am going to give if condition. Okay. Okay. So whenever you are giving condition, immediately you have to give colon, because set of statements it is going to print. Okay. So automatically it will be indented to the fourth space. Okay. So nested if means if I am again giving some if. Okay. So I am not going for logical operator. Okay. Instead, nested if I am going for. Okay. If I am going to give multiple conditions to check. Okay, so that is the time if this condition is satisfied, again I am going for another if. Okay, and then condition. Got my point? Okay, so that is how I am going to give, right? So for this again you will have the thing. Okay, so whenever we are giving thing, automatically it will be intended. Okay, so likewise it will come, and then some statements will be printed. Okay, right. So for this you will have else parts. Okay, so else, okay, okay, so this is how it will be there. Okay, if when you look at here, okay, so for this, okay, so for this particular true condition, okay, so the so this is like we can say like inner true block. Okay, and for this is a inner true block. If this condition satisfied, these set of statements going to be printed. Got my point? Statement will be printed. Okay, so if you are going for else, okay, for this if there will be one else, right? So and else and then we are going to have statements. Okay, so for example, if we are giving here statement 1 and then statement 2. Okay, I will let's zoom, right, so that you can see the complete thing. So for this if condition, okay, this is the true block. Okay, and for this if condition, this is the false block. Okay, and for this if statement, this is the inner true block, and for this if condition, okay, this is the inner false block. Got my point? Okay, so this condition satisfied means completely this statement is going to check. Okay, again it is going to check this statement, and then this statement satisfied, this one will be done, or otherwise this statement will be done if this condition satisfied. Got my point? So we can say these are all called the true block for this particular if condition. Okay, and this is the false block. Okay, so this is how you have to categorize. Okay, if both these conditions satisfied, this statement alone it is going to print. Got my point? Okay, so if this condition fails, automatically these two statement alone it is going to print. Got my point? Have you all understood, students, the syntax of nested if? Students, have you understood? It's a very
Yes,
important
sir.
concept. Yeah, okay. So we will see with the examples, but you should understand the thing. Okay, so this is how we will have nested if, right? So we are not going to end with one if. Inside if, again we are going for one if condition. Got my point? So when this condition satisfied, you will have the set of statement. This is called a true, okay, block, and this is called false block for this particular if. Okay, for this particular if. Okay, this is called the inner true block, and this is called the inner false block. Okay, but for this if, okay, so this is called the true block, and for this is the false block. If this condition fails, automatically it will come here. Got my point? Okay, so here for this we can see example like largest of some three numbers. Okay, so okay, right, so largest of three numbers. Okay, so first I am going to check whether if a is greater than b or not. Okay, so first I have to get an input value. Okay, for a, b and c, that will be fine, I think so. Okay, so a equal to int of input of enter a. Okay, then b equal to int of input of enter b. Got it? C equal to int of input of. When you start typing again and again, you will be very fast in making codes. Got my point? Initially, you will struggle, but when you start typing, automatically it will come into practice. So first we are taking the condition if a is greater than b. So end with colon. Automatically, your fingers will function. Got my point, right? Okay. So if a is greater than b, and then we are finding out the condition if a is greater than c also, then automatically we can say a is the large number. Okay. So that's why I'm putting another nested if. I'm checking for a is greater than c or not. Okay. So if this condition satisfied, immediately I can say, okay, print a is the largest number. Okay, so a is large. Okay, so large is bigger. So I'm putting in caps. So a is large. Okay, and the next is what we have to do. Is true. Okay, as I told you, if this condition is true, automatically it will come inside. Okay, so if this condition true and this condition is true, okay, so that is the time we can say C is the biggest one. Got my point? Okay, so automatically we can say else, without any condition for C, we can say, okay, J is greater than C, then else print. Anyone?
C.
C, yeah, C is greater. Normally you would know, right? Okay, so A is greater, and then this condition fails. Okay, so then automatically we can say C is large. C is large. Good. Okay, so then what we have to do? We didn't check for B, right? Okay, so I am just going for elif. Okay, so elif, okay, so if A is greater than B and then A is greater than C means we are saying that A is large, okay. If this condition fails, we are saying that C is large, okay. And then I am going to check for this, okay, if A is greater than B and then, okay, for this elif I am putting, okay, for this I am putting this nested if like, okay, so elif I am going to put and then I am going to check if B is greater than C. At my point, if B is greater than C, if both these conditions satisfied, then I can say, okay, I can say B is print B is large. Okay, so B is large. Okay. So else I have to check for this thing also, right? So here A is large. Okay, so if A is greater than B, if the condition fails, I'm checking here B is greater than C, then I'm saying that B is large. Okay, and then I have to say if both the condition fails, I have to say C is large. Got it? So I'm getting the three input value A, B, and C. I'm checking the condition which is A is greater than B or not. Okay. And if this condition satisfied, okay, then automatically it is going to check which is A is greater than C also. If this condition also satisfied, okay, for example, if the A is taking as 10 and B is 8 and C as 6, so that is the time we can say 10 is greater than 8 and also 10 is greater than 6. Then I can say 10 is the largest number among B and C, right? And then if this condition fails, the second condition fails, okay, so that means what? A will be 8, okay, so 8 which is greater than 6 and but 8 which is not greater than 10, got my point, okay, so that is the time I can say C is the largest number, okay, but if this condition fails, if A is greater than B, for example, okay, 5 which is greater than 10, this condition fails, so automatically it will come and check here, okay, so here 10, okay, 10 which is greater than some 15, okay, so I can say 15 is the greatest number, got my point, or otherwise if I'm saying that 10 which is greater than 8 means I'm saying that 10 is greater, got it, okay, so this is how for this particular thing fails, I have to check for B and C, or otherwise, okay, I have to go for this particular one. Okay, if this condition satisfied, here itself I am getting the result A is large. Okay, but this condition fails, automatically I have to check for B and C. Got it? Okay, so this is how it is working. Okay, so this is nested if. Okay, so again and again we are putting if within the if. Got it? Okay, so just I will run the program. Now I am saying A is large. Okay. So I am giving a B value as greater. Okay, so 3 and then 5 and then 2. We have to check every conditions. Okay, so B is lodged. It's coming correct. And finally, now C value will be greater. Okay, 2, 3, 5. C is lodged. Got my point? So in all the way, the condition is satisfied. Got my point? With one thing one alone, you should not check. Okay, so we can check up to here itself, and we can say A is lodged, but that's not a good way of programming. We have to check all the three conditions, and then we have to prove this is correct. Got my point? Okay, so I hope you understood nested if also.